Shalom, monkey. First and foremost, we're going to start by giving infinite honors and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Harakakadash. The longest to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, rule and teach well, peace and blessings to the hope and faithful elect across the four corners, living and preaching the truth to the best of their ability and sincerity. Shalom. And topic of today's lesson, because we couldn't title it this, but spiritual reason, is being a spiritual masochist, being able to enjoy the pain that the Lord brings upon you, man. Right? So first and foremost, I'm gonna start off with that definition of masochist. Because when you first hear the word, it's like some sexual weird shit going on. But this was the secondary definition.
We been spiritual. That's why the brother say spiritual.
It says in general use, right? In general use, a person who enjoys an activity that appears to be painful or tedious. Right? And that activity that appears to be painful and tedious that we enjoy is the truth, man. Right? Because the Lord puts you in a lot of situations where it hurts a lot of times, man. But you gotta learn to enjoy it. Because what's coming out of this pain, you learning, right? You experiencing these new things and it's building you up. It's
No. I wanna thank you up right quick. Thank you on that word. Psalm 102, verse 26. All right, I'm gonna go to verse 25. All right, it says, "Of old hast thou laid the foundation of the earth, and of the heavens are the work of thy hands. They shall perish, but thou shalt endure. Yeah, all of them shall wax old like a garment, as a vesture shalt thou change them, and they shall be changed. But thou art the same, and thy years shall have no end." You know, that's going back into that endure.
Our years are not gonna have any end, because this is what's really building you up to becoming an immortal man.
What was important? Really good. All right, Psalm 102, verse 26. "They shall perish, but thou shalt endure."
They shall perish, but thou shalt endure, man. Right? So you're going to be able to go through all these things. Actually,
what the word the brother bringing out means. All right. In the scriptures, it would be basically endure. But go ahead.
All right. It's 2 Corinthians 2 and 2 Corinthians 12 and 9. It says, verse 7, and it says, "Unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelation that was given to me a thorn in the flesh." Right? And all men and Lord have that thorn in their flesh, man. Whether it's a mental infirmity that you got, a physical infirmity that you got, it's something limiting you from being at your best at all times. Right? And that's just how it is. Okay, and the Lord said He did that so you wouldn't be getting beside yourself. Right? So you wouldn't get in your mindset you think you're perfect, you think nothing can happen to you, you can't be touched. Okay, and it says, "The messenger of Satan buffeted me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord Christ that it might depart from me." Right? And sometimes it don't happen on the first time when you ask the Lord to make it depart from you, man. But you gotta keep asking. Right? Sometimes just praying ain't enough. Right? Sometimes there has to be some extra action behind that prayer. Sometimes you gotta fast, man. Right? It says, "He said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." Right? So that's the mindset that you gotta have, that your strength is made perfect in weakness. Right? When you at your lowest estate, that's when spiritually you should be the most motivated, now. Okay, it says, "Most gladly, therefore I will rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Mashiach may rest upon me. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmity and reproaches and necessity." Right? Because all these things need to happen. That's why it's called a necessity.
Right? But don't miss that point. Going back to the original word you just read. "Therefore I take pleasure in what?
In infirmity.
In infirmity." Go back and read the definition. So we can stay good. I got to precept going back to that word.
The definition of a masochist, it says, in general use, a person who enjoys an activity that appears to be painful or tedious.
Now go back and read that precept. Right. That's the part I told you the other side.
This 2 Corinthians 12 and 10 says, "Therefore I take pleasure in infirmity."
We take pleasure in infirmity. We take pleasure in suffering because we know what it all leads to. Okay, this is a precept. It's a rock too. And I'm starting at 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation."
And what are those temptations? You look into the blue letter word. It means things going off, shit that happens on your day to day. Whatever is afflicting you, you might be subject to payments. You might have this happening in your mind. You got to prepare yourself for that, man.
Right. "Set thy heart aright, Meaning get your mind right. And constantly endure, which goes back to that word again, right? And make no haste in time of trouble.
The only way that you'll be able to constantly endure it and not make haste and jump the gun and follow after something else is by learning to enjoy the pain that you're going through. Huh? You got to use all these as lessons. You got to look at everything from a spiritual perspective instead of, oh, why the Lord doing me this? This ain't fair. This ain't fair. That ain't fair. All right? When do you start holding yourself accountable? All right? When you start thinking, damn, maybe there's a reason the Lord put me in this situation.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower estate.
Right? We're in that lower state now, so you gotta take that cheerful. Patience is a demand, man. It goes into being long suffering. You gotta learn to like this, man. Okay, you gotta learn to like all the bad shit that comes with the truth and all the good shit that comes with the truth. Right? Because that's what keeps you stabilized when you get that balance like that.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Right? Who's that gold being tried in the fire? The Lord's men. Right? And he says acceptable men, and he sees the potential that you have, so he got to bring it out of you. Right? By burning you, man. Gold ain't you. The purified gold, you don't hold it above the fire, you put it directly into the fire, man. You got to melt it down.
To burn anything is not a pleasant feeling. Trust me. Verse 6, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall.
And that's all we are commanded to do is to stay on the straight and narrow path, which ain't exactly easy, but it ain't hard either. Okay, the scriptures say his commandments are not grievous. Right? These are not things that you gotta overthink about now. Right? You just do it. It's 1 Corinthians 4:9. It says, "For I think that Yahweh has set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death." Okay, because in this society, we are at our lowest estate from the elder apostles on down to the least of us. We all catching hell, man. That's just how it is. It says, "For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to the angels, and to men." All right, that's something you gotta learn how to love to enjoy, being that spectacle to the world. All right, because everyone's seeing you, they're mocking you. All right, but all this attention is eventually about to be turned into fame, man. All these scoffers and people talking shit, talking down on you behind your back, all that is about to be you being put on that pedestal like that. But ultimately putting Yahweh Shem Yahshua on that pedestal like that. It says, "We are fools for Mashiach's sake, but ye are wise in Mashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong." All right, it says, "Ye are honorable, but we are despised." It says, "Even unto this present hour we both hunger and thirst, and are naked and are buffeted," and then being, catching hell. That's what that word buffeted means. It says, "and have no certain dwelling place." All right, and that's Israel as a whole. We have no certain dwelling place, huh? At least not yet. We ain't been solidified as a power in the earth. All right, we have no power. We got no strength. Okay, and anything other than Yahweh Shem Yahshua. All right, it says, "and labor, working with our own hands, being reviled. We bless, being persecuted. We suffer it. Being defamed, we entreat. We are made as the filth of the world, and are the offscouring of all things unto this day." And the word offscouring go into being an outcast, man. Right? That's something you got to learn how to like. Because the Lord, it looks like you're an outcast to this side, but he's really making you holy.
Yeah, I mean, in this society, they call you rebels, different things. If you are against the system or this beast that the Bible speaks of, right, you're going to be deemed an outcast. Period.
It says, "I write not these things to shame you, but as my beloved sons, I warn you." All right, so we tell you these same things. You better learn how to like this, man. Because it's not to shame you, it's not to make you ashamed of your weaknesses or all the things that you afflicted with. Damn, I ain't good enough. You're supposed to like that, man. All right, because think about it this way: there are certain brothers, the Lord didn't see fit to put that pressure on them because he knew they wouldn't be able to handle it.
Hey, that's the reason why we wasn't put in Yahweh's shoes.
Exactly.
Because we're not fit to handle that kind of pressure.
Right.
I got one for you too, bro. This is hand in hand what you read. 1 Corinthians 15, and I'm gonna start at verse 30. It says, "And why stand we," meaning the prophets, right? The men of the Lord, "and why stand we in jeopardy every hour?"
That's what we ask ourselves. Why are we constantly catching hell like this, man? But the Lord gives you the answer. He needs you to go through this so he can make you a king, a judge, and a priest. If you don't go through this, you ain't gonna be good enough for the calling that I gave you.
And that go back to that purification, that fire, which goes back to the word the brother initially opened the video with, right? All right, verse 31, it says, I protest by your rejoicing, which I have in Yahweh HaMashiach, our Lord, I die daily.
We do die daily, man. We catching hell on a daily basis, and it's always something new. It's always a demon more advanced coming at you. It's always some shit. You go home, you getting pressed. You wake up, you getting pressed. We were talking about yesterday. You gotta wake up, go to the job, man. This is death daily, man. You in daily slavery.
That's why we sign and cry for the abominations that we done midst of. That's why we're ready to perish. You know what I'm saying? It says I die daily. So is it meaning that we commit suicide every day? No, spiritually, we'll get brutalized. Spiritually, like the brother said, catching hell is an understatement, man. All right? Verse 32 says, if after the manner of men I have fought with beasts and Ephesus, what advantage it me if the dead rise not? Let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we die. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners, right? And those evil communications goes into what? Speaking against this truth, going against this truth. Not saying curse words or harsh words hurt people's feelings, but being wicked, being a nigga. Saying things or pushing things that is contrary to the oracles of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Teaching things that is contrary to the oracles of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Right? Upholding things, following things, and being taken by things that oppose the oracles of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? So it says, awake to righteousness and sin not. For some have not the knowledge of Yahweh. I speak this to your shame. But some men will say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come? Thou fool. That which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die. And meaning we got to go down to corruption. We got to go down to slavery. We got to go down to suffering. Basically, like the brother said, we have to be purified in order for us to shine and be what the Lord already got us ordained to be. He already set it up in the spirit for us to be born in America, right? For us to catch holy hell as slaves, for us to lose our nationality, right? For us to be subject to payments, for us to have to relearn who we are, relearn, be retaught about our nationality, be mistreated. I mean, everything from Deuteronomy 28:15 all the way down to 68, man. Okay? All of those things was prescribed for us to go through. And that was the Lord put in place to purify the elect. Out of them curses, the elect was what? Purified, cleansed. Okay? So it says, and that which thou sowest not that body that shall be, but bear grain, it may chance of wheat or of some other grain. But Yahweh giveth it a body as it have pleased him. And to every seed his own body. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies, bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. And it's going all the way down, let's skip up to the point. Verse 42. So also is the resurrection of the dead. Because the resurrection of the dead is the what? That's the first resurrection. That's when Yahweh shall come back, right? And get his oath for elect. The scriptures tell you that we are alive and remain shall not prevent them with the dead, with those that already been in the spirit world. They're going to get their spiritual bodies first. And then us on the earth, you know, Lord will be of their number. We're going to get beamed up and we're going to get those celestial angelic bodies, right? Okay, so that's the all in all in which we endure for. That's what we struggle. That's what we catch hell. That's what we die daily for. For that promise, right? For that promise, for the Lord to keep that promise and bless us with that promise, right? So it says, so also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption. It is raised in incorruption. So we know we got to go through all this corruption, taking all these L's, being weak, dying daily. being fooled, being spectacles, getting scoffed at, getting laughed at. People calling us every fucking proverb and byword in the fucking book. You know? Being laughed at, being spat on, hissed at, you name it. All of this is a part of the purification process, right? So it says, verse 43, it is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, right? When we die, right? We're in these natural chains of darkness. That's why we catching this hell, right? Because if we had our spiritual bodies, the so-called white man wouldn't be able to put us to slavery, right?
You don't have to worry about that.
Right.
You sinning no more.
So it says, it is sown in dishonor, but it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, but it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, but it is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body, and there is a spiritual body. And so it is written. The first man, Adam, was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit, man. Okay? So that's when the scripture says strive for the mastery. That's what we're striving for. We're striving to be joint heirs with Yahushua. We're striving to live forever. We're striving to not have to be sick again. We're striving to not have to say answer to no other heathen nation again. You know? That's what we're striving for, man, amongst a million other things. I mean, it was more, but I mean, it could go on and on and on and on.
It's Job 13 and 15. It says, though he slay me, all right, speaking of Yahweh Shem Shai, how do we get slain? For all these things the brother just listed. We going into captivity, getting afflicted on the day-to-day. You got to work on the job, man. You got to be at the bottom of everything, okay? It says, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. But I will maintain mine own ways before him. Right? To the average eye, that might seem like an unhealthy relationship, man. Right? That the Lord has with his bride, but it's necessary. It's a necessity. Right? You got to have that mindset all the time. Right? So you putting me on this hell, I got to believe that there's some lesson I'm going to get out of it. Right? That he also shall be my salvation, for the hypocrite shall not come before him. Right? So there's no two-minded man. You got to be fully in this thing, man. Right? Because going to the word hypocrite means an actor. You can't be an actor in the truth. You got to believe what you're saying. And that's when he rewards you with faith. That's when he rewards you with the strength. That's when he's going to reward you with that new body.
Okay. All right. This is Romans 8. And I'm going to start at verse 18. Right on point. All right. Romans 8 and 18. It says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
Sufferings of this present time, the hell that we are catching right now, incomparable to what we're about to get, man. What is losing the job? What's losing your life? Hey, what's losing your life if you about to live forever?
That's why we what the word go back to the master.
Spiritual masters, man.
Right. So it says, verse 19, for the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh.
That's what we're waiting for. We're that creature waiting for that manifestation for where the Lord, that first resurrection, man. That's what we're waiting for.
That's right, man. How long, Yahweh?
Please.
Right. It says, verse 20, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope.
We were made subject to vanity. We were made subject to sin by design, man. By Yahweh Shem Shai. Now we know why. Okay.
And we were made subject to hope too. We were made subject to have faith. The Lord put us in a position where you have to have faith, man. Right? You're either gonna have faith or you're gonna be destroyed. One of the two. The Lord is not like DoorDash, man. He just come and deliver what the hell you want it whenever you want it, man. Okay? But it's the other way around. Okay? You got to do what the Lord requires. What the Lord says, it says, because the creature itself, verse 21, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of Yahweh.
that glorious living when you get the new body, when you get the kingdom, man. Right? That's gonna be actual freedom because you're no longer gonna be under sin, man. You ain't gonna have to worry about the weight of sin. You don't have to worry about dying, going off. Oh, I had this fucked up thought in my mind. Let me go pray.
For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travailing and pain together until now. Look at the children of Israel when you go to Revelation 12 chapter. What did it say the woman was doing? She was in travail waiting to be delivered. Right? So it says, verse 22, for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth and pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which are the first fruits of the Spirit. Even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. When we said earlier, how long, y'all? How long? How long? All right? So it says, but we are saved by hope.
We're saved by that hope, man. That hope and what? For that better tomorrow, man, which we know is only going to come back when Yahweh Shai comes back, when we get the new body, man. That's our whole hope. What else is there to hope for?
But hope that is seen is not hope.
Which is why you need faith, right? Hebrews 11:1. The substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Right? Are you going to continue in the faith, not getting any reward from it immediately, man? Not getting any immediate gratification? Right? You'll be doing right. Days ahead, you'll be like, damn, this don't seem fair to me. But that's just that flesh talking, man.
But hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for?
God, that's why people don't have any faith, right? Because they see everything that they want, but we haven't seen what we want yet, man. We haven't seen the Lord come out of them clouds and deliver us out of slavery and put our enemies into slavery, right? So that's why we have to hope for it, because it's not there yet.
Right. So it says, verse 25, but if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it.
We're patient, we're long suffering, man. Being that spiritual masochist, you gotta learn to enjoy that wait. Let me phrase that correctly, because we don't enjoy the literal wait for the Lord to come back. We hasten in that, but you gotta learn to enjoy the process, man.
Right. So it says, likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities. For we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he, the Rakakwadash, maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of Yahweh. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh, to them who are called according to his purpose. His purpose.
This is that purpose, man. The Lord said he's giving us the path, man. Okay, he's giving us the easy way out. All right, your spirit already, if you are the elect, your spirit already praying for you. All right, he's making that intercession.
I mean, unless you ain't one year.
Right, he's making that intercession for us, man. This Revelation 3:18. It says, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, right? Which is talking about his men. And it says that thou mayest be as rich, and white raiment that thou mayest be as clothes, right? With that white raiment as well.
And that white raiment is talking about being clean, right? Being clean, purified, right? When something is white, you got all of the impurities out of it, man. All of the blemishes are out of there. It's spotless, okay? And that's what the children of the Lord is to the Lord. So definitely know that out there. Okay?
Right? It says that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, right? So you won't be subject to sin anymore. Okay, and it says, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve that thou mayest see. Okay, and he's giving us that eye salve, which is why we are willing with those prophets, man. We can see what's going on. Okay, and it says, as many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. Okay, so that's the only thing you really need to be focused on. It's like this. It's come with the territory. If the Lord's dealing with you, he's going to put pressure on you. Okay, it says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice, I will open the door, I will come into him and sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcometh, will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and sat down with my Father in His throne. So that's that same reward that we're trying to get. Okay, but you got to go through that chastening process. You got to go through the pressure. You got to go through the catching hell. You got to learn how to like it, man. All right,
hold on. Let's take it out right here. This Psalm 94, and I'm gonna start at verse 11. The point is in 12. Yahweh knows the thoughts of man, that they are vanity. But it says, blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Yahweh, and teaches him all of thy law.
Blessed is the man who the Lord chastens. When he put that pressure on you, when he beats you, like the book of Hebrews 12 chapter 6, like a father beats his son, you grow up, you might be mad for a little bit, but you grow up seeing the benefits of that lesson, man. Yeah. The truth is the same way.
Right. It says, the scripture says the Lord chastens those who love, right? And it says that thou mayest give him rest from his days of adversity. Is that not what we want? Is that not what we signed and crying for? For rest from our days of adversity. For rest from being in slavery, man. All right? For rest from being subject to vanity, right? So it says that thou mayest give him rest from the days of adversity until the pit be digged for the wicked. What pit is that talking about? That's the one that goes down. when Esau is fucking annihilated, man. He's gonna be an extinct species, man. You know, the day he goes extinct, we're gonna have peace all the way till that day. Okay? Take us all out.
Which one? Take us out. Galatians 6 and 9, and it says, and let us not be weary in well doing. Right? And this is the well doing right here. For in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Right? So eventually we're about to get them benefits, man. It's an L season right now. We're about to come into the W season now. All right. So with that, hope this was an edifying lesson. We're gonna end it by giving infinite honors and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, rule and teach well. Peace and blessings to the open and faithful elect across the four corners, living and preaching the truth to the best of their ability.